Table saw upgrade. Now I've got two videos out there at the moment. The first one was a review on this saw, and the second video was the fence upgrade. Now if you haven't seen those videos, I suggest you check them out. And this is the finished product. So what we did originally was we upgraded the fence to a steel fence, toggle clamp on the end there, where we can actually lock that fence into position, as opposed to the original fence, which was a lot more prone to movement, where now we can actually lock that, and we've got a really good solid fence. So like I say, just check the original videos out, and I go into more detail on this, the upgrade on that. But I said I'd mention the other upgrades we did. Now one upgrade was I swapped the blade, original blade, you'll see that on the side, ripping blade. I swapped it for a Floyd blade, and this is a 40 tooth blade. It's more of a combination blade for cross cuts and rip cuts, and suits my style of woodworking a lot better. If you're just solely into the rip cuts, I would suggest you get less teeth on there, but I'm more into the slightly better finish, and the combination blade suits my needs. What I did here on the insert, if you remember originally, there was quite a difference in the depth of the insert. I fitted a flush, I made it out of timber, and I made it so that it was flush with the actual bench, the tabletop. So if you just look at the ruler there, the camera will put it up, we're absolutely flush with there, so there's no dipping at all, and we're not prone anymore to get bits of timber jamming in there. It is a good fit. Solely set up for 90-degree cut, that as well. Obviously if you want to do your 45, your miters, etc., you'd have to make another to suit. So as it stands now, I'm just ripping at 90 degrees, so this suits me. Made a big difference there, helps with the accuracy. The next thing I was looking at doing, oh yes, before I mention that, I'll go back to the fence, because that was an addition that I've later added, was, as one of the comments there, which I thought was a really good suggestion, a stick on tape. So basically what I've done, I've transferred the original roll from the other side using this stick on tape to make it a lot more speedy, a lot more quicker to get my measurements. So for instance, if I set it up there on the other side at 150 mil from the blade, I'm cutting a piece of timber to actually the back of the fence, I can go now on here and set that again 150, 160. I can just move the fence along. Let's just take it to the other side, show you that a little bit better. So for instance, if I set that up at 150, you can see that on the scale there. I would zoom around to this side and I would do the same. I'd get the back of the fence set for 50 mil, 150 mil, there we go, near enough for the video purposes. And let's just grab the tape. So I'll be looking at there, 150, roughly 150. Just speeds the process up a little bit. For accuracy, like I say, speed and accuracy, that makes a difference. Worthwhile little job. Another thing that I wasn't happy with was the sliding mitre. Now if you remember, that was a plastic base on here. I've actually swapped that for a plywood, cut out a plywood section, made it a really snug fit in there. I took the aluminium sliding section off there because that was no use to me at all really. I beefed it up with a piece of timber, and we'll just move to the front. You can see where I've countersunk the bolt heads in the timber, so we've got a flush fitting and no interference with the timber at all. Same principle, kept the plastic base. You can slide that up and down now, turn it from side to side, tighten it up, slide it up and down. Try to do this one-handed for you, but anyway, you can see, let me just unlock that, with virtually no movement there compared to the other one where we had quite a bit of play. I have tested that out and it is producing nice accurate mitre cuts, so yep, made a big difference that. Last of all, if you remember regarding the on-off switch, I wasn't too happy with that. When you're keeping your eye on the blade for safety, the eye on the workpiece, you tended to be faffing about looking for the on-off switch. So what I've done, I've constructed a simple paddle switch. Now the way I fix that, I used a hinge or hasp, something I had lying around in the workshop there, and I fixed a piece of plywood to that. I made a stop switch, so it's like a paddle switch, so all I have to do now is no faffing about, I can just tap that and switch it off. When I was drilling that, I also obviously check for anything at the back there. You don't want to be drilling through any wires or anything, any mechanism, switch mechanisms, so just need to look at the back of there, make sure you've got room to do that. But yeah, that's worked fine. Pleased with that. She's all set up now for completely parallel. The blade is completely parallel with the fence, so we're all set up at 90 degrees. Got it all tuned up and it's cutting really nice. The blade makes a big difference as well. The fence, I was well chuffed with that, with the way that worked out. So, as I promised, this is a video on the saw, the finished product, and I must say, the money I paid for it and the money that it's cost me to complete and do these alterations to make it into a worthwhile little saw in the workshop for the amount of use it gets, I'm very pleased with it. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope it's been some use to you, and like I say in all my videos, if you did like it and it's been of some use, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.